there, and welcome to The Lab, the series where we tap into the minds and strategies of top performing EXP agents to uncover what's really working out there today. What you're about to see isn't just a great conversation, it's a sneak peek of what's inside EXP University training. All of our major training programs like Fast Cap, the Lead Generation Series, Fast Attract, and more are built by conducting dozens and dozens of these interviews. Think cutting-edge tactics, proven systems, and agent-tested strategies compiled from multiple agents on a given topic, all building into insights shared in our training and right here. Consider this your front row seat, and let's dive in. So, Robin Mann, five-time icon from the Charlotte area. Thanks so much for being here. Now, I'm curious. Tell us a little bit about your background, your journey to get to where you are in real estate to start us off.
All right. So, thanks for having me. That's the first thing.
Always welcome.
Journey in real estate. So, I started out as a two full-time career agent. Like I couldn't make the leap as being a solo agent. And I worked for the biggest brokerage in the area, and they were one of the biggest in their whole brokerage. But so I worked two full-time jobs for 9 months, and I did 9 months. I did 9 deals in 9 months. I was their rookie of the year, and they are the largest market center in their brokerage. And I was the rookie of the year being a part-time agent, which was pretty cool. So did that, left and did full-time, and then got a TC. I did 9 deals that first 9 months, then I did 26, got a TC, transaction coordinator, and did 52 transactions. And then I have not gone behind that. So I started in 15, so 16, 17. So I'll be up on my 10-year mark, in 15. So this April will be 10 years. So I've done at least a sale a week since 2017.
Okay.
And that leads me here.
I heard the talk about it, and the win-win, that for me was fine. But you were about to say something else, and I didn't hear what you were saying.
Okay. So I wasn't going to tell you about this, but this is something else that I do every year, and I do it. I like being a creative. So, and I worry about copyright laws. And so I know this is illegal. So, I don't know if you can see this, but
yeah.
And so that's
that your face on both of them?
Yeah, that's Hillary and that's David, but it's my face. So, I've done this type of postcard every year, like something silly. One year it was Friends, one year it was Michael Jordan, in 2023 it was Michael Jordan because that's his number, but it's always, something creative. And it always says, do you still love your house? If you don't, great. If you do, awesome. Either way, I want to hear from you. And so it's just something that's a little bit out of the box. It's the same thing that everybody sends. They send a closing anniversary card or something, but I do something fun. So when I do things, I really work on it being something that makes them laugh and that makes them feel.
It gets them to pay attention too, I think, which is that's the problem with any sort of direct mail or email, is that there's others in the mix every time you go to the mailbox. There's a ton of emails in your inbox every time you open your inbox. How do you stand out? And I think that's very clever. So when you're talking about your taco drive, for example, your taco about Thanksgiving, I'm curious about that. Can you give me some details? Are you renting out the restaurant? Are you buying tacos for everybody? Are you getting sponsors to come help, vendors rather, to come help with the costs?
Absolutely.
Tell me about the setup of that.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the other thing I wanted to mention on that, you had said earlier, well, let me add, I wanted to touch on sphere and who your sphere is, but I can answer your question first, because I think people get really confused on the sphere thing. And I have a thought pattern on that. But so for Taco Bout Thanksgiving, yes, I would have like my lender or my lawyer or my home inspector or any of them, even if they contribute a little bit, $100, $200, like it's not a ton of money from them. They're going to get to see the people that they served, because the majority of my lawyers and my lenders and my home inspectors are all people that I use a lot. So they've served my clients as well. So I invite them and say, hey, would you be willing to contribute $100 to the night? And of course you can be there and see everyone and pass out, tape measures or whatever you want. So I invite several of them, and we don't have a talk. We don't have a presentation. It is, we all show up and have tacos together. And so, yes, it was a local restaurant that we did this year, and I did it at another one time before, but this year we did it at a local restaurant. We had a separate register where they tallied our stuff only. They got 2 tacos and a drink, and they had this called duck taco. It's all these funky, cool tacos. So, and then we had an area. We didn't rent it off per se. We just said, I picked a night that was a very slow night for the restaurant. I said, what's your slowest night? And they were like, Tuesdays. I was like, rock on. That's the night I want. Can I kind of take over this portion of the place? And they were like, yes. I'm very much frugal with my business money. I rarely spend money on things. I get others to spend it, or I figure out a way to do it like this. That's a win-win. So no, I didn't rent it out. So it was great fun. We just had an area and people trickled in. There was no mass quantity of folks at one time. It was just a span of people that trickled in, and they brought their socks, and we ate tacos and drank margaritas, and then the cool thing about inviting your other vendors is you have people to talk to your people. Because if you're the only one there, which is what I used to do, I had a pie drop in, and people would come and pick up their Thanksgiving pie, and there's 30 people that show up and they all want to talk to me. So when you invite those people in, okay, I get to talk to you, Brian, for a second, and then, okay, wow, I can go talk to these 4 people and not feel like I've just left you hanging. So yeah, we just did it right there at the taco place, got all the socks. And then if you are a social media person, which I am, you're filming content. I don't hire a professional. I use my cute little phone to film content, and you're taking pictures. You can have your spouse or your friend or your vendor make sure they're taking pictures. And then when you deliver the socks, that's a whole nother opportunity. And if you really want to, you can create a postcard that says we were able to give 500,000 pairs of socks, and look how happy we made some people, and then send it out to your people. So you can leverage every event for months of content and of touches.
Well, I'm curious too, because people showing up in droves to drop off socks at a taco restaurant or any other like client event doesn't just happen, right? You talked about the fact that you leverage the event and post to communicate, but you're also communicating with them up front. I'm curious, in a typical setup for something like that, what does it take to get people to show up? Are you phone calling? Are you emailing? Are you DMing? Or are you putting posts? All of the above?
Yes. So I'm doing an Eventbrite,
okay,
or a Sign Up Genius kind of that I'm willing to contribute 5 socks, 5 pairs of socks, whatever. So either an Eventbrite or a Sign Up Genius. That it goes out initially in email and on a Facebook post. That's my post, because I do friend all of my clients if they want to be my friend. So, and then I also will just put it out there, because that's a great opportunity. And that's really a fun story. I did an ice cream party in a local ice cream store last summer, not this one. And a man was at the ice cream store. He starts talking to me. Well, I've helped him sell a house and buy a house just because he was at the ice cream store and saw what I was doing for my people. So, I mean, that's just cool, because we were just there loving on people, and he's like, I want to be part of that. And I love those people. So, I would put it out on my own personal Facebook page, and then I would tag people in that are the people invited. I would create a Facebook event and make sure those same people are tagged. Then I would also email them the Eventbrite. And then I also, if you haven't used the Reach app, Reach is a free app, and you can also do it from KB Core, but Reach is a free app where you can create a group. And so it could be, I called it Mansgiving this year. We did Mansgiving, because my last name's Mann. So Mansgiving this year, I had a group of who all was going to be invited. And then you you type the message, and you can put the little parentheses, hey, Brian, I'm doing this event. I want to make sure you're there, so that their name goes in there, and it comes out like it's coming straight from your phone. There's no hidden numbers, and it's a free app. It doesn't cost me.
So, and it's REACH.
REACH. So that was a great app, because and so then they text back, oh gosh, blah blah blah, And And even if they say no and they can't come, you can still leverage that event. Do you want to give some socks? Can I swing by and see the house and pick up some socks? No, you can't. I totally get it. I sure just loved being in contact with you this year. Happy holidays. So you can even use the nose.
I'm curious. You're a 5-time icon, right? What size database does it take to really get to that level in your business and your experience? Whether you're doing it through the social database or your formal CRM, what does it take to sustain that kind of business?
So my actual database probably only has 1,000 people in it. My actual CRM CRM. Now I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. I've got followers on all the social medias. But even at 1,000, I don't think you're logistically, physically able to touch 1,000 people a year. I mean, you can in a very non-personal way, but in terms of actually engaging, I think I'm only reaching out to 300 a year. So the biggest key to the database is to do it now and make it part of your world from the beginning. And it's very simple. You put in the name, you put in as much information as you can find about their email, their phone, the notes. I always like to think, what if, and I said it yesterday to a friend, like, instead of what if I die, what if I come into $1 gazillion and I want to sell my business to somebody? There ought to be notes there that can say, here's the scoop on Brian, so that they can pick it up and you can still get paid while you're at the beach and wherever, So your database is gold, and it's not hard. It's what is it? It's not easy. It's simple. Yeah, it's simple. This is really simple. It's not easy. It's very simple. Just
very simple.
Put the stuff in.
Got to do the work. You got to do the work. And on a weekly basis, I'm curious, how much time do you spend in, say, social or your CRM to bring about the kinds of results that you're talking about?
A lot. People are like, so when I used to teach a class called Finding Your Business, people would be like, you're on social media. This was in the beginning. You're on social media 8 hours a day. How do you do any work? I'm like, that is my work.
Yeah.
That is my job. Now, I'm not just watching puppies and kittens. I'm actually intentionally using it as a resource. So now it's much less. In the beginning, without a doubt, 8 hours a day. And it was, again, back to that 20 tallies. Mm-hmm. If I didn't have 20 and it was 10 o'clock at night, I would tell my husband, hey, man, I got to figure out 2 more contacts. And I would find the contacts and put them in my database. And if I didn't get them in the database because I was too tired or whatnot, then the next day I was committed. Or if I only got 18, okay, well, next day I'm doing 22. Like, I was very, very intentional and pretty hard on myself for that. Because if you don't do it, you won't get it. You've got to do the numbers. It's a numbers game.
I think success in any arena has a discipline attached to it. And in real estate, there's probably several disciplines in real estate, right? Mastery of skill and things like that, obviously. And yet I think the biggest discipline in real estate is the contact sport of it all, making sure that you are getting in conversation with people.
Exactly. And what I was going to say earlier about sphere, people are like, I don't have a sphere. Yes, you do. And there's an easy worksheet and you can just make it up yourself. But, at the top, right, who did I go to college with? Who did I go to high school with? Who is my hairdresser? Who's my barber? Or who's my oil change? Who's my banker, my lender? Any person you can name, and then just fill it out. Who are friends from high school? What's my aunt and uncle's names? They don't have to live in your city. Mm-hmm. Because in the beginning, what I would do, I literally would call Aunt Jo, who lives in Danielsville, Georgia, which I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. She is not a valid client. What Aunt Jo would do for me is listen to me and practice. Hey, Aunt Jo, it's Robin. I gotta practice this script. Will you pretend you're a buyer? Will you pretend you're a seller? And of course, yes. Nobody wants to help me more than Aunt Jo, right? So, right. And that's a contact for the day. Did it actually lead to money? No. Did it lead to my skills being enhanced? Yes. And that's
Well,
what you.
it's funny you say that. In Fast Cap, I joke with him. So we level up to 5 real, we call them real talks, right? 5 real talks a day is what we level up to. We start in week 1 with just 1 per day. And I tell them quite literally, go call your grandmother, go call your auntie, go call your best friend, and practice and fumble your way forward and laugh about it. Because these are people who love you and care about you, and will let you be vulnerable with them. But the interesting thing is, every single round of Fast Cap, invariably we have somebody come back and say, you'll never believe it, my grandmother's bridge partner is selling her home and I got a listing appointment, right? That happens all the time. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, that's called sphere of influence. Whether
Exactly.
you're novicely fumbling your way through it, you're still letting somebody you know who loves you and that you love know that you're in real estate. And there's
And
power.
referrals. Like, she lives in Danielsville, Georgia. She may not be selling her, but her neighbor might be. And then she'll call, hey, Robin, who do you know in Danielsville? And they may have a favorite realtor, but they may not. And then boom, you're getting referral money.
Heck yeah. I'll
So
take 25%, 35% out of town all
all
day
day
long.
long.
Robin, as we're getting to time here, I'm curious, when it comes to being purposeful about building your sphere of influence, if you could start it all over again and go bigger and faster than you did back then, is there something you would have done differently about things?
I don't want to be cocky, but I went pretty dang fast. Like, I did 9 deals in 9 months, like straight out
It's
of the
pretty
gate.
fast.
Yeah. So I think I would be, well, okay, I will say, but I wouldn't say. I was very much for hire. You want me to go? So Charlotte is big. I live down here. And would I go up here? Yes. Would I go over here? Yes. So in the beginning, I was like, yes, I will go there. And I did. And that helped me to get 52 homes a year. And I wouldn't change that, because that is how I just was like, I am determined to make this successful. And so what I could have done better at that moment is to leverage that out. Let's find an agent up there and what I could do now, that I can refer that out to, instead of me driving all over the place. That would be really smart. And building a team if I wanted. I'm not a team person. I'm always just, do better. I have people I have 60 agents, but I'm not a team leader. The other thing I would have done is to be more intentional. I did this with one particular neighborhood and it worked out really well, and I could have done it more, but I just dove straight into the Facebook. I picked the neighborhood that I love, and I just went door knocking. And it was a market research door knock. Like, if you ever want to have a door knocking class, I'll teach you all day long. But because I've got some great door knocking stories that have turned to really cool wins. But I just picked the neighborhood I loved, and I literally knocked on the doors. Hey, I'm a new realtor. This neighborhood, every time I'm in it, I smile. This is why I love it. Why do you love it? That's it. That was the door knock.
That's a great script, by the way.
Right? Thank you. It's so simple, right? And then the key is, this is a crazy story. I taught door knocking class. This beautiful little man went out. He did 3 of those notebooks you're talking about with your mom. 3 of those.
Yeah.
He's like, Robin, I don't have any business. I'm like, well, show me your follow-up. And he's like, well, I didn't follow up.
Yep.
He just kept really good notes. I was like, oh, you're killing me. But like, so what would be smarter is if I really wanted to, like right now, if I want to up my price point, all right, well, let's get back to knocking on some doors and let's pick a neighborhood that's the higher point demographic, and do the same exact thing I did with this little neighborhood that I loved in a higher demographic place. And if you don't want a door knock, okay, well then circle farm it, or Facebook, get a part of their Facebook group somehow. Go make a friend in there. Like, just figure out a way to get there, because there's so many ways to get there. Yeah. I don't know if that answered that, but I think maybe just being more central geographically, but really no, because it helped me to be all over.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, the name of the game is building up your sphere. However you choose to do it is fine. Door knocking is a great way to get in front of people because you're immediately building a relationship. You're immediately building rapport. I'm a former door knocker for 6 years. I love door
Nice.
knocking.
I did
And by
too.
the way, I'm going to take you up on your offer when we go
Okay.
to the geographic farm training as part of the series.
Love it.
Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your hard-won wisdom with us. We appreciate it. Our EXP family obviously is going to appreciate learning from you. So thank you from all of us.
You are so welcome. I loved it. I hope it was helpful to at least one person. So
I know it will be helpful to a lot of people.
yeah.
All right. So for all of you out there, get out there, build your sphere, build your social media influence, and then work it through a database so you can succeed and have stable success in your business as you go. Thanks so much for tuning in. And thank you, Robin, for being with us.